Hi book lovers! Welcome to Story Time. My name is Jodi Moore and I'm author of When a Dragon Moves In. Now as the author, that means I've written the words, but I haven't drawn the magnificent pictures that you're about to see. Those are courtesy of brilliant illustrator Howard McWilliam, and the book is brought to you by our friends at Flashlight Press. Now before we get started, I'd just like to tell you that I've wanted to be an author my whole life. And I thought when I got my first picture book published that was a dream come true. But I soon realized it was only a part of my dream come true. Because is a book truly happy if it's not shared with other book lovers? So having you guys here with me today to share my story is my other part of my dream come true. So before we get started, take your hands and your arms and wrap them around yourself and give yourself a big dragony hug from me and the guy next to me here. Now I don't know if you guys realize this, but an artist for a picture book doesn't only draw the words that the author says. They tell another half of the story. And as we go through the book, I'm going to show you some of the brilliance of an illustrator. Now, When a Dragon Moves In is about a little boy who builds a perfect sandcastle. And a dragon moves in. He thinks that's the best thing in the world. But no one believes him when he tells everyone about his magnificent beast. Is the dragon real or a figment of the boy's imagination? Let's decide for ourselves when we read When a Dragon Moves In. Let's do it now. Now here's the first pages of the book. Do you see any words? But this is where the story starts. We're introduced to our family, our characters. We know they're at the beach. Look up in the sky. What do you see flying in? At first glance, you'll see some seagulls. But if you put on your eagle eyes, you might see something else. Over here, there's something that's kind of red flying in. Could it be a cardinal? Or could it be the dragon? If you build a perfect sandcastle, a dragon will move in. Settle in all cozy and peep at you from inside, and you'll wonder how you ever got so lucky. With a dragon in your castle, you'll have a built-in marshmallow toaster, your very own raft, and a kite that practically flies by itself. Best of all, no beach bully would dare stomp your castle with a dragon inside. Take a look. Here's our bullies. Are they running away from the dad or the dragon? It's up to you to decide. Of course, there are rules on the beach, so you'll have to hide his smoke from the lifeguard and erase the dragon prints from the sand. Eventually, you'll want to share the great news with your family. There's a dragon in my castle, you'll call to your mom. She'll answer. Does she think there's a dragon in the castle? Does she even look? Listen to him roar, you'll say. I hear the roar of the ocean, she'll reply. See this feather from my dragon's wing, you'll ask your dad? That's a nice seagull feather, he'll say. And you know what feathers are good for. What are feathers good for? Tickling. But does the dad think there's a dragon in the castle? Feel my dragon's sharp teeth, you'll shout. Those are just broken shells, your big sister will say. You and your dragon will know better. Just about then, your dragon will demand to be fed. First, he'll eat all the peanut butter sandwiches, even the ones that were supposed to be for your sister. Then his fiery snout will make the lemonade sizzle. "Stop blowing bubbles in your drink," your mom will say. "That wasn't me," you'll answer. "That was the dragon." And you'll hear a "Heh-heh-heh" from deep inside the castle. Finally, since dragons love dessert, he'll slink into the family cooler and nibble the brownies while no one's looking. "Whose fingerprints are in the brownies?" your dad will ask. "Not fingerprints," you'll try to explain. "Dragon prints." "There's no such thing as a dragon," your sister will say. But then your dragon will snicker again. And spray sand all over her. "Young man, I don't think this is funny," your mom will say. "That wasn't me," you'll answer. "It was the dragon." "I think we've had enough of this dragon business," your dad will say. "I guess I've had enough of this dragon business too," you'll sigh. How's the little boy feeling right now? He was so happy. Now not so much. Is that how you feel when you're trying to tell somebody something and they're not listening or they don't believe you? Me too. Then you'll march over to your sandcastle and order your dragon to leave until he learns some manners. And you'll vow never to build another perfect sandcastle again. He's angry. At least until tomorrow. Now, that was the end of my words, but do you think it's the end of the story? Brilliant illustrator Howard McWilliam and my editor Sherry from Flashlight, they decided they wanted all the children to have perfect sandcastles and dragons. But put on your eagle eyes. Do you recognize these guys? They're the bullies. They're building a castle, but they don't have a dragon in it. Not yet. Do you think that they should be given a second chance? There's a lot of dragons coming in. Yeah, let's give them another chance. Did you guys enjoy this story? I so enjoyed reading it to you. Now, while you guys are still here, I thought I'd introduce you to the dragon. Now, this dragon was made by our son Stephen, who's in theater, and he used a professional mask making technique to build the dragon. Now, I know that you can't touch him through the screen, but what do you think he might be made out of? He's very sturdy. He's been petted by lots of kids. And he's very light. So what do you think? Sometimes people will guess plastic because he's nice and shiny. That's not quite right. And some people will guess paper mache, which is a great guess. Paper mache wouldn't be this sturdy. And some people guess clay, which is another great guess. But clay, after being touched so many times, would probably crumble. One person guessed one time stone, and I thought, boy, you think I'm very strong. I'm going to show you what dragon is made out of, not just because it's interesting, but because you can make a dragon yourself. It's made out of tape. I know. Now, this is masking tape, which is very, very important because other kinds of tape, like Scotch tape or duct tape, will just stick to themselves. The way you can remember masking tape is because it's a masking technique in theater. Now you're thinking to yourself, how can this make this? Well, there's a few other things you need. In making this video, I drank a whole bottle of water. Should I just throw it away? I can recycle it, which is a much better thing to do. Or I can make a dragon out of it. Let me show you. Now, obviously, Steve used a bigger bottle to make this one. He used a 2-liter bottle of soda. But when my second book came out, When a Dragon Moves In Again, Steve made me a baby dragon. And he actually used a bottle just like this. So let's see. If you take your tape and rip off a piece like that and make an O shape with the sticky part on the outside, you'll see that if you gently roll it in your hands, you can start to mold it just like clay. So if I mold it and shape it and I take my Propel bottle, oh, I'm starting to make a horn. Can you see how this will eventually become this? See? Can you see that? There we go. Now, it takes a lot of tape and a lot of time and a lot of love to do a dragon, but you can. Now, the thing about this is once you have it all molded, you do have to use a little bit of paper mache, which is basically putting another type of paper. You can use brown paper or newspaper on top of it after you have it all molded, because you can't paint on top of masking tape. It'll just bubble up. But you can make dragons, or you can cut out little masks for your face out of cardboard and make noses and cheeks and horns and all different types of things. And it's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to recycle and give back to our earth. I hope you guys have enjoyed the story today, and I hope you've enjoyed our art project. Until we see each other again, blowing you dragon smoochies. Go out there, keep reading, and keep making art. Bye!